Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. As in this part of the series, we are now going to get started on the free mode game. As we basically have seen in the last video, basically the epilogue, we've been challenged to basically make a transport company with one set of vehicles from a particular part of the world, and the United States was the one that the polls have decided. So, without further ado, let's get started to the free game. Alright. Now, one of the coolest things about the free mode game that makes it different from the other two games is the fact you can basically see what's going on. But however, we're going to switch it to the Appalachian landscape, and if I put this in, it will give me this customized map. Map size large, map format 1 by 1, towns high, industries low, and we basically have a lot of mountains and a lot of rivers, but nothing too difficult for our company. We have 1880, difficulty easy, cargo needs by 4, industries rarely will close, industry density target at low. Actually, let's make it medium, because I think that will be very much needed for our transports. With that being said, now that we have everything, including the mods, let's get started on our free mode campaign. And we're here. The beginning of our own little transport empire. Well, little, but then gonna grow into a large company. So, before we get started, let's have a look around. As you may notice, there's a whole bunch of different industries that we could serve. There's a separation plant, a silverware factory, tobacco plantation, an asphalt plant, a gold mine, and several other types of industries, even a fishery. But however, we need to figure out where we're going to start up our operations, basically. There are several towns we could basically go for. However, I feel like, I think my towns are set into English. Uh, I guess this will also give me the time to do something really quick. So I'm going to cut this video right here, and I'll see you all in just a moment once I'm done what I need to do. And we're back. Now that we have everything set up, for the towns at least, we can now start construction of our transportation company. Since we're playing in the 1880s, we'll have plenty of equipment to work with. Though I want to try to at least use every piece of equipment I have available in the game. I'll also be explaining the conditions that is needed to be completed in the next episode. Alright, let's see. 6 buildings will be removed. And I just realized I hadn't even changed my currency from credits. And the road is angled. Not what I was expecting. Let's see. Will this work this time? Let's see. It does. Though I also want to have a road here as well, in case if anybody wants to build a house close to the station. I'll place this down, and basically flatten the ground. We'll use the asset tool to remove some trees, and then we can get started on laying down some track. Now, the best way to get started in this game is to transport at least some passengers, as well as a little bit of freight. So, the industries around here are a fuel refinery, some tropical fruit plantations, basically growing fruit, some grain farms, a calcium carbonate mine, which is basically used to make cement. There's a paper mill, a lumber mill, a waterworks, a bottling plant, and an alcohol distillery. Hmm. It does need grain to produce, well, the rule is it needs either grain or sugarcane, as well as water to produce alcohol, which, taken to a bottling plant, can be turned into bottled alcoholic drinks, which is desperately needed here in Leamington. And since there's going to be four different types of commodities, I might as well build a four-track freight yard for the trains coming in. It's going to be 360 meters, which is going to be the standard for all the stations going forward, except for this station here in Leamington, which is going to stay as it is since we are only just starting off small. We'll replace this with this and carefully place that there. We'll rename this to Yard and then to Central Station. Leamington Yard will also receive a bit of an upgrade from the cargo shed pack. It will have a large main building, and these platforms will be removed. As I'm only going to be using these particular platforms only for freight trains that are picking up cargo, because these blank cargo platforms don't carry anything. Though I'm also going to basically add some of these large cargo platform sheds here, and a small one in the middle. Let's see. And then do a little bit of this. And then add the walls. I'll work on the details for this in a later time, but for now we need to get started. Not to mention, we're kind of running a little low on cash, so I'm going to take out a bit of a loan. I'm also going to basically talk about how high my loan can go. So we'll just take out about $30 million or credits right now, cash, to get the company started, and rename my company to North Central Lines. With that in mind, we could get started on laying down the track. We'll basically make the track as flat as possible with minimal grades, so at least the trains won't have to follow a rough track bed to reach its destinations. $45 with 75 in the middle. These are only temporary. These platforms are not big by any means. So basically our trains are going to be kind of limited for now. However, one thing's for sure, this platform right here will be used primarily for our mainline express train once we basically get that in service. Ground is leveled, and then we'll basically connect this track to this. Let's see, 53. I want at least 50. 46. No. 45. 54. 49. You serious? There we go. Much better. We'll curve it to the left a bit with a 70-degree curve. We'll make this curve about 40 to 45 miles per hour. A straight, and is this going to be on a slope? Not really. That's good to hear. We'll connect this, and then place down a double crossover switch, so the freight trains can easily enter and exit the station. Let's see. We'll try this and see what happens. Does it look out of place? No, it doesn't. Thank goodness. Alright. Now with that done, I'll also do this and make the ground a little more flatter. We'll basically make the track go down a small bit, then flatten it again, and cross over the row leading to one of the fruit farms. Now, these fruit farms only could go to some certain destination, only to basically either a town that needs them or for a fruit juice factory, which is located in Woodsburg. So, let's see. The town of Greenwood's ahead. It needs either warm materials or food to basically grow, but it also needs a reliable passenger service. So, let's place down another station here. We'll make it a 360-meter station and place it somewhere not too far from the main road network, like here. And since this is the 1880s, while the station will decline, we'll need to replace the platforms for the station. So after much deleting, we'll basically use these wooden passenger and cargo platforms. As for the passenger stations themselves, it's going to be one main station, two of these on each side, one of these, and one of these. As for the crossing pieces, I will basically be using these wooden pedestrian pieces, as they will allow passengers to cross over from one track to another. And it will go the same way as the other tracks that I have used in other stations, aka a station with a 4-track platform area with 2 platforms for an express train and 2 middle tracks for freights passing through, and another set of tracks on the other end of the express train platforms used primarily for the local trains that basically only travel between 2 towns. We'll place down another one of these. Place down these roofs. And that's the main passenger aspect done. This will basically still be called Greenwood. However, we'll need to build a small cargo platform as well, as eventually, once we have access to delivering warm material and food, we can at least deliver the supplies needed to this station via this passing track nearby. Thankfully, there's enough space for at least getting this done. We'll then basically get a medium main building here and 2 of these side by side. And this will be called sidings, as yards will be for terminal cargo stations into cities, and sidings will be those connected to main stations. Alright, let's see. Let's extend the road a little bit out. Do that, and then basically connect some of these roads so we can operate a trolley service here in Greenwood. Alright. With that being done, we'll also need to build a track to connect to the town of Javaburg. Javaburg will basically be the beginning of the new 360-meter passenger terminal stations. This will basically be known as the old main line in years to come, and the line that's connecting from Javaburg will be the new main line. But we're only starting off with this for now. We'll connect this here. Connect that. And there we go. Our tracks for our freight and passenger trains are ready. We'll also set up a passenger track here. 45 miles an hour into the station. Ooh, don't like the look of that ballast getting onto the ties. Let's see. Let's see. 45 miles an hour is okay for this platform. Do that. We'll delete that section and then basically do that. Alright, that looks good. We'll use the flatten tool to make it a little more prettier. We'll get rid of these. Now, I think it's best to start off with a simple run of delivering water and grain to this alcohol distillery, process it into alcoholic drinks, and bring it down to Leamington, where it will be delivered to its local customers by these commercial buildings that needs this particular commodity. Now, the cargo needs basically will grow as the town expands over time if cargo is delivered. As for crossbucks, let's see. For industrial roads that lead to industrial places, it will be the square, it will be the diamond shape, while the ones connecting roads to other towns will be more of a, well, cross shape. Alright. Let's see. We'll do this here. Okay. The main station is now connected all together. Let me see. I want to at least do that. Will that affect the roadway in any matter? I don't think it will, thankfully. The exception for this one will be basically for a double crossover. Do that, and then do this. Flatten it, and then that should basically take care of it. That should basically take care of it. Take care of it. Gosh, I can't speak. Alright. We'll also place down this road next to the station and connect it to the main network. Because, in order for the goods to be delivered to their respective customers, I'll have to basically find a way to deliver some goods to them. So, a warehouse will basically be the best source of, well, transport. Plus, these can hold up to a lot of cargo. Because as trains evolve over the years, it's going to make the trains a lot more bigger and carry more loads. So there'll be a warehouse at each end at these stations that are not connected to the main town, and trucks will basically pick up the loads, take them over, and bring them into town. Let's see. Now, we could basically curve the track to the left into Ridgeland, or the track to the right to Longhorn, which basically needs both alcoholic drinks and alcoholic bottled drinks. Man. Well, we could at least basically do that. 45, no. 62, 61, 61 again, 60. There we go. Alright, that should basically do it. 70, climbing up. I will build a connection outside of this later on. We'll do that. Now, we're basically going to also get started on picking up some water here. Now, the waterworks basically has a lot of destinations. It needs the separation plant, an alcohol distillery, a power plant, a fruit juice factory, a fruit juice packaging plant, as well as the alcohol distillery. So, there's going to be tons of customers needing water, and we'll also need to basically connect to this as well. According to this, the only two towns that need it is Longhorn and Ridgeland. But I'm not so sure what other towns will have it in the near future. So, we'll also basically need to get the Greenwood Waterworks connected to the rail network. The track will have to be risen up again. We'll basically flatten this. Do that. Ooh. Let's make the track down a bit, and then basically... We'll make this into the diamond crossing again. Also, before we finish this episode, I'm actually going to change the date speed down to 1/4 speed, as it will basically not take too long for equipment to basically come out ahead of time. As I feel like if we put it at ×4 speed, there's going to be like tons of vehicles popping every few seconds. So let's see. There are about 6 customers that need water. So let's basically connect it here. And thankfully, though, we could basically we could build a loop track to basically bring water up to this power station and leave the other 5 tracks on another platform to connect to these industries around here. Alright. Actually, let's basically make this into this instead. No, I didn't want to do that. I keep pressing the bulldoze key on my keyboard instead of using the keys to basically turn my buildings around. 1.68 million credits. That's a lot of money, but it will basically be very beneficial later on. Get rid of that so we can have some room. And then connect it here. We'll basically connect this track to the left and build some passing tracks to connect to it there. Let's see, flat section here. Do this here. Make it a little straight and curve it. And that's basically all we can do today for this first episode of my free mode game. So, if you enjoyed this episode of my Transport Fever 2 free mode game, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!